Sup guys, Daniel Blake here, and today we are discussing one of the most powerful, most legendary flirting techniques ever. It is the legendary push-pull.
Was kind of one of Buddy Rich's secret weapon. Okay.
Okay guys, really quick, 2 disclaimers before this video even begins because I want to just be straight up with you guys. One being that the Italian drummer is by no means a master of this technique. I'd say I'm pretty good at this technique, but I would not say I'm a master. A master is somebody like Jojo Mayer, Gordy Knudsen, Buddy Rich, Yoni Madar is sick at this. There's just a few people to name who are masters of this technique. You can go check them out. I actually had the privilege of studying under Gordy's wing up when I went to McNally Smith College of Music, and the way he teaches is so inspiring. He will physically grab your hand and be like, no, you want to dangle your wrist, and now open your fingers, and you see how that works, and he'll show you little levers and just little things that are gonna stick in your mind and really help you through. And I don't know, his way of teaching is so inspiring. He actually has over an hour's worth of footage on just this technique alone on YouTube. So I would recommend going up there to the search bar, type in Gordy Knudsen. He calls it the open close. So Gordy Knudsen open close technique. Over an hour's worth of footage, and he's going stupid in depth. I'm not going to go that in depth on it. I'm going to let you know pretty much a basic understanding of how to do this technique. Yeah, go check out some of the masters. I highly recommend you study them. Second disclaimer is that the application of this to the drum set is honestly very limited, and that came from the mouth of Gordy himself. It's a few things you could do with this. One being this one pattern, either on the bell or on the hi-hat, which we'll go over that later. And 2 being ghost notes with your left hand. You're gonna be it's gonna just be easier to perform ghost notes with your left hand. Yeah. It's just unless you're like a practice head and you just like Yoni does a lot of that. I'm not disrespecting him at all, but a lot of you would have to come up with grooves that orient this method. You would have to try to come up with grooves. Like this doesn't naturally flow out if you're playing most music. As in, if you're playing a pop gig, you would not use this. R&B, very scarcely use this. This is a technique that is more so for like jazz, fusion, you know, those genres where you're doing a lot of notes on the drums. 2 disclaimers, done just like that. Now, let the lesson begin. Yo! And here we are, the push-pull technique. Let's get it. The open-close technique, the drop-catch technique. All of these techniques are the same thing, it's just different names for it. People are weird. Let's get it. So, before we even touch sticks, let's go over how your hands are gonna be. I'm gonna teach you the most basic way to perform this technique / the easiest way. Now, I want you to do me a favor. Take your arms and just hold them out like this. That's 90 degrees. That's 0 degrees. Put them at about 45 degrees, and this is where your forearms are gonna be when performing this technique. This is gonna make it for the easiest way to perform this technique. Now the second thing is to drop your hands like a T-Rex. This is how T-Rexes go, right? If I was a T-Rex, this is how my hands would be. That's just how it goes in the prehistoric era. So now you're like a T-Rex, arms at 45-degree angles, and then pull the throttle like a motorcycle. You know what I mean? And you're zooming through, okay? So 45-degree angles, drop like a T-Rex, like a motorcycle, okay? 3 things. That's how you do the push-pull. Drop, catch, push, pull, open, close. All the same, very simple 3-step process to maneuvering the push-pull technique. Now we got some sticks. Okay, so you're gonna hold it just like you're holding a regular drumstick. I don't know, like I was about to go in depth on how to hold a drumstick, but you're watching this video. You know how to hold a drumstick. Okay, so take the drumsticks in your hand, back to that 45-degree angle with your forearms, and remember the T-Rex and motorcycle? Okay, that's a push-pull. Now let me go over the mechanics with just one hand. Now, give you a little side view. This way. The first part of this is called the push, the drop, or the open. Now, your arms at the 45-degree angle. Your mechanic is here between your thumb and your index finger. That is the fulcrum. Now, that's not saying all of your other fingers come off of it. It's just saying this is what's going to be the main focal point of this technique. Now, you drop it down like that. Your fingers stay on the stick, but the stick is actually perpendicular to the sky, if that's what perpendicular means. So it's pointing straight up to the ceiling. That's what that first stroke is. You drop it, push. Look at how my hands are. This is the T-Rex I was talking about. T-Rex, you're pointing up to the sky, your fingers are still on it. Now your pinky might come off when you're doing this technique, but your fingers are all pretty much still on the stick. That's the push. T-Rex. That's called the little V. Gordy called that. Little V, you're pointing to the sky, fingers are still on it, T-Rex. And I would just practice that. Keep dropping it on the pad and catch it like that. Don't carry on with this technique unless you have this down, because this is crucial. I see a lot of people try to just go straight into it, and then they're messing up because they don't understand the mechanics of just simply dropping it and having full control of the stick. Another thing you could do is drop it like this and then close it. And now we're at the next thing. Push, you pull it back to yourself with your fingers. You pull your fingers shut and it's gonna automatically hit the pad. Okay? And that's what Gordy called the big V. Okay? And that's pointing outward. Instead of being perpendicular, you snap it shut and it's pointing outward and it's ready to strike again. Because when you strike again, you just gotta open your hand and push down to the floor. And then pull that throttle shut. And that's 2 strokes with 1 motion. Okay? Now I would just practice this by itself first. Then I would practice pushing and pulling slowly. Don't speed it up yet. Slowly. Pushing and pulling. Just push, pull, and then chill. Don't go straight. Don't try to get into it yet. Just push, pull. That's it. Now you can try to work on push, then do finger strokes, and then snap it shut. Just to get your mind working the right way. Drop like a T-Rex, stick hit the sky, finger strokes, snap it shut. Now you got the big V. And then you would have been ready to do the push-pull technique. Push, pull. Let's get into some training, okay? I'm gonna set up 3 different clicks: 69 BPM, 90 BPM, and 110. Just like always, my drummer mafia. Let's get to training. for this exercise, what we're going to be doing is eighth notes followed by 16th notes. So I'll measure 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. That's the exercise. Let's begin. 1, 2, ready, and. Now what you'll notice is that when you hit the eighth notes, it feels kind of slow, but it's very technical. Let's go again. Pay very close attention to the detail. It's like the wrist counteracts which way the stick goes. And both together, try to get them to hit at the same time. Let's move up. Now we're going a little bit faster. This is more of a cruising tempo. Shall we? Let's get it. 1, 2, ready, and. Yeah. So immediately you realize that it's more natural to do these eighth notes. And you're going to have to be a lot looser for the 16ths. Back to the right hand. Be loose for the 16ths. Loosen up your hands. The technique works best when you loose. Off and away to 110 we go. 1, 2, ready, and. Yeah, it's a lot more snapping in the technique at this tempo. You're gonna want to be as loose as possible. That wrist is gonna counteract the stick. Push through. Good. Y'all ready to work the hardest you've worked at this exercise? Let's go to 150. Welcome to the boss level. This is the final level, and I hope to see you guys on the other side. Remember, stay extremely loose and snap back. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Let's get this practice. 1, 2, ready, and. Stay loose. It's easy to lose it. Snap it back. Come on. So how we're going to apply the push-pull to grooves is we're going to do this pattern that falls along the rhythm of 1E and, 2E and, 3E and, 4E and, all with the right hand. The and is accented, so I'm talking about it's this 3-note grouping. You push, pull, and then do a wrist stroke. Now the second pattern that we're going to do is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and every quarter note pulse is accented. So this goes. Now let's apply both of these patterns to grooves. Groove 1. Groove 2. close attention to my left hand as I'm playing this groove on the hi-hat with the open syncopation. Now I'm going to incorporate the push-pull technique into my left-handed ghost notes. Check it out. Same thing goes for when I'm doing this quarter note accented ride bell pattern. So let's check that out. Pay attention to the left hand. Now, although the amount of ways that you can apply this to the actual set are super limited, it's still very beneficial because it allows you to sit back kind of in autopilot mode when you're grooving, doing one of these grooves. You can just kick back and you're going at a speed that people are like, whoa, 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 what the hell are you doing there? And you're just like, literally like, it's exerting the same amount of force and energy that you would be doing had you been doing this groove. Look at the speed that you can go just applying this one technique to this one groove. I'm chilling back in autopilot the whole time. Look at my left hand. Look at how I'm applying the push-pull. Look at my right hand. It's a steady push-pull. I'm going at fast speeds, very relaxed and calm. It's really beneficial to your playing. When I created the push-pull technique school, I never expected to have formed such a bond, a family bond with my drummer mafia, and from the bottom of my heart, it means a lot that you guys have stuck with me as your teacher throughout all of this. I really hope to see you guys go on to do big things. I mean, I know you, and I've had my eye on you. You've mastered this technique, you have, and I know you're very humble and you don't like to admit it, but you've mastered this technique. And I can't wait to see what you do with this technique. Everybody, this group of individuals right here, this drummer mafia, okay? I don't know what to say. They've started from the bottom. Now they're here. You know what I mean? So it's very beautiful. It's a sad day, but you have to let the bird leave the nest. Guys, go apply this to any situation you can apply it to. This technique is gonna make fast playing very easy for you, and I'm sure you guys can innovate and do whatever you want with it. Everybody, thank you for coming out to this graduation ceremony. My drummer mafia, ci vediamo dopo, ti voglio bene. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna cry, yo. Thank you, everybody, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Until next time, see you next Monday with Marco. I'm out.